And that's why this episode about storytelling is very important too, because it is an extremely good way of connecting with others. And connection is what relations are all about. If you don't have a connection with someone, you won't remember what they said. You won't really take their advice. You won't really bond with them, because this connection is the foundation of everything.
You should read first, and then you should put away the book, and then you have to think through what you have read, and then after you can write down. So here, I recommend read, think, write. I will say it's the keywords that make me remember the story. But also a little bit about the feelings. If it's some emotion, whoa, that was cool, that was interesting, or that was sad. Keyword combinate with the emotion, I will say. Make me remember the stories.
That I remember the feeling, and then I remember the point.
Welcome to the 101% podcast, where we push limits, sharpens mind, and become beast of personal growth. Today, we're diving into skills that every powerful communicator, leader, and motivator masters. Remembering stories. Why? Because stories are how we connect, how we teach, and how we inspire. So how do you actually remember stories like a pro? Let's break it down. Over to Annika. She got this.
First off, I want to say that it is extremely important, because as my brother says, all important communicators knows this skill. And as we revealed in an earlier episode, is that all communication is about connection. And when you tell a story, you're able to perform an emotion, a setting, a huge point in a very, very good and emotional way. So first off, you have to understand the structure. Every great story has a beginning, main part, and an end. And this often involves setup, struggle, and solution. So once you see this struggle, you'll never get lost in a story again. Then you have to visualize everything. When you hear a story, you shall not just listen to it, you shall see it. Turn it into a movie in your mind. You shall relive it. The hero's expression, or the rain that is described in the street, or the twist that happens in the end, how surprising that just becomes. Relive everything. The more vivid it is, the more real your story will be when you tell it again.
Use power word. Anchor each story with 3 to 5 keywords. For example, fire, cliff, betray, and redemption. Just those triggers can pull the whole story back in your mind in just seconds. And earlier, we made an episode about mastering the art of storytelling. It was episode 66. And it was a great episode of how you can become a great storyteller. And it's so important to develop these skills, because you can use it in work, in networking, in your personal life, when you tell your children stories, to learn them things, and also learn other people's things. Because if you do it when you tell the story, it will stick. So go check out this episode, because that was a great one.
And when you retell a story, don't just retell it, relive it. Focus on expressing it, performing it. And when you practice telling a story, say it out loud. Practice telling it by telling it to a friend, or talking to yourself for that matter. You have to own the story. Don't just recite it. Another important point is to tie emotion to the memory. We always remember what we felt. Tap into that emotion of the story, the fear that you had, or the joy that the person that told you the story had. And if this hits you, it will stick with you, and it will touch the hearts of the ones that you tell it to.
So remember, structure, visualize, keyword, practice, and emotion. And those aren't just tips, they're a tool. And the more you use them, the more unforgettable your voice will become. And Annika, how do you memorize the story you hear?
I think the main points are what we just said, that I remember the feeling and then I remember the point. But as you might have noticed in the previous episodes, I am a lot better at remembering the emotion because I am very emotional. So sometimes I just go on and rant and I kind of forget my point. So I should do the tip that you just gave us and remember 2 to 3 to 4 keywords, because then it will be a lot easier for me to tap into the main point of the story so I don't rant far away from it, you know? How about you? What kind of good lessons do you keep in mind to remember it?
Keywords, I will say. It's the keywords that make me remember the story. But also a little bit about the feelings too, yeah? If it's some emotion, whoa, that was cool, that was interesting, or that was sad. So keyword combinate with the emotion, I will say. Make me remember the stories.
I think that's a good way. And for me, when I'm in lectures, I always take a lot of notes because I am not able to remember things if I don't write it down. Writing things down for me makes my brain process it on a way that I can remember it after that. But if I'm only in a lecture where I don't take notes, the information simply just doesn't stick. And even just writing one keyword can make me remember a whole story. So it doesn't have to be much, but I have to take notes. But different from me is Jordan Peterson. He's a Canadian psychologist, and he says that he encourages us to don't take notes during a lecture, but to rather force ourselves to just remember it, force ourselves to really, really focus and stay engaged, and then take notes afterwards. So perhaps that is a solution that will make you remember things better.
And here are some other ways you can do it. Okay, whoa, that was an interesting idea, because then you start to think more about it. What is significant for this idea? And do I believe it? Or how do I might criticize it? And Jordan Peterson, yeah, attach little memory hooks to the things he want to remember. That's recall, and it's worked great for him. And recall is the act of remembering something complex. Recall is to practice remembering things. And Jordan Peterson believes if you read, you should read first, and then you should put away the book, and then you have to think through what you have read, and then after you can write down. So he recommend read, think, write. But you have to find out what's best for you.
Mm-hmm. And how about your life? You have found out what's best for you, I think. How are you living your life now? Are you happy about how things are going?
What can I say? Happy. I'm proud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud. It's very interesting to work to build up the 101% podcast together with you. And it's so good to be my own boss, to have control of my own life, to not need to take any order anymore. So I'm very happy about that.
Does it mean that you're not satisfied, or are you like happy about your everyday life?
I'm happy about I am my own boss. I can manage my own time, stay together with my daughter, training. So I'm happy I'm in control of my life, but I'm not satisfied, yeah, because I still not earn money on this podcast. So I'm not happy about that. When we start to earn much more money, yeah, I will become more happy. So, but I'm very proud. I'm proud of what we have built up. And I'm happy about what I'm working about because it's fun and interesting. But I'm not satisfied, yeah, because I want to start earn money now.
And I think that you can be happy at the same time that you're not satisfied, because of course we're moving forward. We're not satisfied until we have reached our goals, but it's important to live a life that we're happy with. And I think that you have made a everyday life that seems like you're enjoying, with your training routines, your healthy eating, things that you're doing throughout the day to improve your sleep and to kind of live a very structured life. So it seems like you're living a good life, but I know that you're always hustling and that you're always focusing on improving.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot of hard work and improving. That's right. So yeah, so I'm happy with what I'm doing, yeah, but I'm not satisfied yet. But will be in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you? Are you happy in your life?
I am happy, but I think that the two of us are always focusing on how to do things in an optimal way. So we're always looking ahead. We're always assessing what we're doing and evaluating everything. So I think that it's very rarely we're satisfied because we always feel like we owe to other people to become better and all of these things. So it's always a run, it's always high speed towards somewhere, towards going forward. So we're always pushing the speed, always pushing the gas pedal, and we're so engaged in the personal development. So I think that even though when the process is challenging, I am very happy about it because it is life. Life is tough, and we're always focusing about improving our personal development in all areas of life. We're always remembering to focus on ourselves, to invest in ourselves, to become better in the areas that we are participating in. We're always focusing about coming into a room and leaving it a little bit better than before we arrived in a way. And that's why this episode about storytelling is very important too, because it is an extremely good way of connecting with others. And connection is what relations are all about, I think. If you don't have a connection with someone, you won't remember what they said. You won't really take their advice. You won't really bond with them because this connection is the foundation of everything. So I will encourage you all to just keep on doing what makes you happy, always move forward and learn the storytelling skills that we just gave you, because it is extremely important aspect in becoming a great communicator, which is a huge factor in personal development.
If this episode fired you up, share it with someone who wants to level up their storytelling game. This episode was recorded the 2nd August 2025. In the show note, you can find the link to our homepage, 101%podcast.com, where you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, donate to our podcast. And if you could support us with a $2 coffee donation on our webpage, it will mean a lot to us. And all the information about subscription you need. We share for you. Remember the stories you hear like a pro. Take care and give it your best. It is important for us to get out our message so we can help as many people as possible. And we would highly appreciate it if you could take 1 minute of your time to follow us on social media and review the show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All links are below. Our Instagram is the 101% podcast. Until next time, take care and go 101% into achieving your goals. You owe it to yourself.